said, empty your mind.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's lesson. I hope you and yours are doing well. Today is our 15th lesson of our Wing Chun Kung Fu quarantine stream. We've made it 15 days, so this concludes the Wing Chun quarantine lessons. Now,
no, it's extended until April 30.
so I guess it's extended now until April 30th. So this does not conclude our quarantine stream. The stream shall go on. So I hope you're enjoying this because it looks like you're gonna have 30 more days of me, I think. We're gonna have to figure that out. I'll see what I can do, but it looks like for now the show must go on. So thank you for joining me today. Once again, if you don't know who I am, my name is Master Wahnish. You can call me Master Wahnish, Sifu John. Doesn't really matter to me. I just want you to come here, have some fun, and learn some great Wing Chun Kung Fu. Now, if you could also take 1 minute, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos to come. And if you could, do me a favor, leave some comments down below if you have any questions or there's anything you'd like me to cover. I'll be happy to get to it. So in today's lesson, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be looking at Wing Chun Kung Fu hand positions. I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to run through all the Wing Chun hand positions, most all the hand positions, and you can follow me along. And then in the days to come, I'll pick a hand position and we'll do a lesson where we really detail that hand position, the breakdown of each hand position. So that way you understand all the Wing Chun hands, how they work, how they move, and I'll try to not only show the hand position in detail, but give you some application. Now, we've been going through the Silam Tao form, and one thing that's very crucial for everybody to remember is the Silam Tao form is teaching you position and movement. It's the dictionary of all our Wing Chun hand positions. We're moving energy in and out the center of our body, but it's not teaching you application. A lot of arts, they're going low block and this block and this block, and this is application against a high punch, a low punch. We don't do that with our forms in Wing Chun. Our forms are position and movement. We don't want to limit them. We're not saying this does this, as that is very defining, very limiting. If I'm doing Tan Sao could be used for several things. So I don't want to just say upper block, lower block. They might be used for different things. I could use foot Sao for a low hook punch. I could use it for a high kick to the head. There's numerous applications for all our hand positions. So once again, we just don't limit and say Tan Sao for this, foot Sao for this. The form, and I'm gonna repeat this again, is simply position and movement. Breathing, moving energy out the center of our body. So today we will run through all of our hand positions, or most all of them. And like I said, in a later date, I will break down the hand positions. Maybe I'll throw up one each day where I'm detailing it. And then I'll find some clips if I can, or try to get a partner in, meaning one of my family members, since we're all on lockdown, to show you a little bit of some potential applications. Now, if I say Tan Sao is used for a straight punch, or a hook punch, or whatever, that does not define the only use of it. That's just one particular application. So let's do this. It doesn't matter if my foot's in the camera today, we're focusing on the upper body, but I will be in our good front stance. I'm just gonna come a little bit closer to the camera. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in that good front stance, knees in, back straight, hands relaxed at your side. I mentioned this, I think, in the very first video where I was doing the Silam Tao form. Huge mistakes when I see people like this and then leaning back. The minute I see somebody doing that with their Wing Chun, I know they're so far off all their basic core concepts and principles. Their foundations are completely off. They're resting hands up against their body. They're leaning back. Anytime I've worked with other Wing Chun practitioners, which, you know, having a school in Manhattan for a decade, I've seen so many different variations of Wing Chun. And a lot of the times when I found them doing this, it was just so easy to just throw them off balance, get them off balance, just dominate. It was just a fail all the way. So when you're seeing people do this, like I said, I call that the matrix, where they're like leaning back, dodging bullets. That's wrong. You want to be centered in your stance. It's almost like your rear end sitting on the edge of a bar stool. Your back is straight, you're sinking, your hands come back. This is a very centered stance. Now, real quick, why knees in, like this and not out? And I know this is off topic of the hand positions, but if you just were to go like this and sink, you feel very rooted here. When I'm in my stance here, I feel very rooted. I can get my hip turning, I'm sinking, I'm very rooted. The second my feet go out like this, it's timber. It's very easy for you to be knocked off your balance. So let's go into the hand positions today. I'm not going to go through the detail of each right now. It's just going to be a simple follow along. So get in your good front stance. You relax your hands. You'll start with your left. I'll start with my right. And we'll just do them in alphabetical order. Bilsao. Right out the center of your body. Bilsao. Bongsao. Bongsao. Fuksao. Fuksao. Futsao. Go to your tansao. Futsao. Tansao. Futsao. Gumsao. Gumsao. Hinsao. I know this is kind of, seems like a, what's the word? Fancy little hand position here, but it is really cool. Wait, I'm looking forward to showing you guys Hinsao and application, because just when you first see it, you're like, how are you using that? But it's very well used to go inside, outside, outside, inside. Jutsao. Jutsao. Lansao. Lopsao. Now Lopsao you'll see a lot. It almost looks like a grab, and you'll see a lot of Wing Chun practitioners using it with their thumb, and that's another no-no. No thumb on the Lopsao. It's here. It's a contact point, so you're feeling, you're not grabbing. We don't grab in Wing Chun. Lopsao. It's almost like you just bring your fist out right in front. But if there was an arm there, that would be Lopsao. Paksao. Paksao. Tansao. Tansao. Taisao. Wusao. Now some hands I left out of play was a Tut Sao, which you see at the end of the Silam Tao form, Quan Sao, and Kan Sao, which I'll go over those in detail at another time. So those are the Wing Chun hand positions, and I want everybody to kind of go through those. If you have questions on any hand positions, let me know, and I look forward to seeing everybody at future lessons to come. Be sure to practice your stances, your Silam Tao, your footwork, your punching drills that we've learned. We've covered a lot of different things. Now you can throw in your hand positions, and when this whole quarantine period is over, you're gonna have a bunch of great Wing Chun skills to work off of. So when you get with your partner, you're gonna have good understanding and positioning of your Pak Saos. You're gonna be able to get right into some Pak Sao drills, some Chi Sao, every aspect of the Wing Chun, you're gonna be able to just jump right into with a much better understanding. And I will do a video coming up soon also talking about center and central line, and a student had requested the Chum Q form, which I will get into as well. Actually, let's do this real quick here. For the Chum Q form, somebody asked about Bong Sao. Let me just detail this a little bit better again. Open your hand, push your wrist to the center, and let this flip right out, right? So that's our good Bong Sao. Once again, my wrist is in the center. If I was holding that here, this is nice and straight, glass of water could go right here. Turn your palm a little bit this way, just kind of force it a little bit at the beginning to keep your palm up. And that's Bong Sao, and it can be used for a lot of different things like deflecting punches. Or if I'm in Tan Sao and it starts to fade, I can simply redirect into a Bong Sao. Numerous applications for Bong Sao. This is actually a hand position. When I first saw it, I was like, that's something I was a new student and I just saw that. I was like, I just don't see that being very applicable. And then within no time, I'm just like, wow, fell in love with Bong Sao, and I was like, just an amazing hand position. So what I'm gonna have you do is, we're gonna go here, so you're gonna have your left hand down at your side and your palm here. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna go to your left neutral. I'm going to a right neutral because I'm your mirror. And we're just gonna go Bong Sao, Wu Sao. Now we're gonna drop our hands down to this side here and go Bong Sao, Wu Sao. So let me come back again and just get in a good front stance. Let me make sure my feet are in the camera. Take your your left hand, palm open at your side, your other hand on top. So your left hand's on the bottom, right hand on top. And you're gonna go to your left neutral stance, Bong Sao, Wu Sao. Now your Wu Sao hand drops to the bottom, your elbow of your lead hand drops on top, and now the bottom hand's gonna be Bong Sao, the top hand's gonna be Wu Sao as you switch your stance. Bong Sao, Wu Sao. Wu Sao hand drops to the bottom, this one on top, Bong Sao, Wu Sao. And I'm just gonna, so this is part of the Chum Q that'll make it a lot easier if you just have this little kind of section down, right? Now, Bong Sao is always moving out and then up, and my Wu Sao, or could be a Pak Sao potentially, is coming out this way, never across. So when I'm going here, up. When I drop and I switch, just like when I just showed you how Bong Sao works, out, and then flips up, and this comes out. My Wu Sao always drops to the bottom, and then that becomes my Bong Sao. So for the gentleman that asked about the Chum Q, this is kind of like a little preview lesson for you to get started. For those that don't know what the Chum Q is, it's one of the Wing Chun forms. Now, in the system of Kung Fu I teach, we have the Silam Tao, an advanced Silam Tao, a Chum Q form, a Bilji form, the wooden dummy form. We have a footwork form, which is really a footwork exercise. There's a sword form and a pole form. Now, the sword and the pole are really more traditional aspects of the system. It's not like you're going to find two butterfly swords around and use those, but They're neat forms, and a lot of those things come in play, and you can utilize them with sticks and all sorts of knives and whatnot. So it's really cool. But those are really more to keep the tradition, the sword and the pole, keep the tradition aspect of the form alive, the system alive. But we really will run through, Silam Tao, Advanced Silam Tao, Chum Q, Bilji, and the wooden dummy, which is a whole lot of fun and a great Wing Chun form as well. Now the wooden dummy, just a little preview tip about the dummy. The wooden dummy is, most people see everybody crack, 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 and they're just hitting this thing as hard as they can. The wooden dummy is a log, it's a wooden log. You can hit that log as hard as you want. I promise you, go out and hit a tree as hard as you want. Don't do that. But if you did do that, the tree would always win. So, and the arms, an arm is wedged in, and you'll see I spoke about this recently in, I think, one of the most recent videos before I started doing this quarantine thing. It's just a piece of wood wedged into a piece of wood. So anybody could walk up and just go bam and break the arm of the wooden dummy. That's not an impressive feat. And when people break the arms on the wooden dummy, it either was a defective piece of wood, which happens, or you're simply not understanding how to do the dummy form, because it's something where you're flowing around these arms and you can strike the dummy as hard as you want, but the dummy is a hard piece of wood, so you can't strike it as hard as you possibly can, or you will hurt your hand. And if you hurt your hand, you're gonna not be so happy about that. So there's some things about the dummy that I think people see, some misconceptions, and people just assume you're just slamming the arms as hard as you can and hitting it as hard as you can, and it's great. And it is a great tool, but there's a lot of things that you should be aware of when doing the dummy, and not just, smacking some wood as hard as you can. It's not gonna be beneficial to your hands and your body. So thank you for joining me today. Look forward to seeing everybody in future lessons to come. Have a great day.